Hello, everyone! Hello, kiddies. It's Mr. Harland. I don't know what I'm doing, but it's something. But today, it's video number 2. But if you stick around, there might be a third one. It could be a Triple Threat Monday. I don't know. It's something new I might do, but I like the idea and the sound of it. But yeah, other than that, today we will be talking about another highwayman from the UK. Robert Snooks. His real name, born as Rain ASMR. Yes. The tree. A different tree we go to today. Ooh. But yes, today, while we have this beautiful rain, we will be talking about Robert Snooks. He was the last man to be executed in England for highway robbery on the 11th of March, 1802. Born in Hungerford in Berkshire, he was christened as James Snook on August 16th, 1761. The fact that his name is commonly quoted as Robert Snooks is perhaps due to a corruption of his identity as the robber Snook, which is quite crazy. But yeah, other than that, yeah, interesting. The crime, there's nothing about his early life, sadly. But other than that, yeah, let's get right into this. The crime. On the evening of Sunday, May 10th, 1801, postboy John Stevens, traveling from Tring to Hemel Hempstead, was entrusted with several mail bags of post. Upon reaching an isolated part of Boxmoor, near Bourne End, he was threatened by a highwayman who stole from 6 leather bags containing banknotes, promissory notes, and letters. The highwayman took the money, of a value of £80, and discarded the unwanted letters and bags, leaving them strewn across the moor. It was revealed in the London Chronicle on March the 11th, 1802, that the highwayman had also discarded his saddle with a broken girth strap on the moor, a mistake that would subsequently lead to the identification of the culprit. Now it's dark. Ooh. Nah, I'm just kidding. The day after the theft, Postmaster and High Constable John Page of the King's Arms near Berkhamsted initiated investigations into the crime. It was then that several people came forward and stated that they remembered seeing a man at the King's Arms fixing a broken girth strap on his saddle. It was believed that the culprit worked at the King's Arms as an ostler, and would thus have some knowledge of the postboy's route. The culprit was identified as James Snook, also known as Robert Snooks. By the time James Snook was already a wanted man in connection with several highway robberies between Bath and Salisbury. He had also been indicted for horse stealing at the Old Bailey in 1799. Under what is assumed to be his full name of James Blackman Snooks. For this charge he was acquitted due to lack of firm evidence. A reward of £2,000 was offered by the Postmaster General, in addition to £100 offered by the Parliament for the apprehending of highwaymen. He was subsequently captured in Marlborough Forest on December the 8th, 1801, by William Salt, a postboy who was driving a chassis through the forest. Salt recognized Snook and managed to apprehend the thief without the help of his passengers. Oh, with the help of his passengers. Just kidding. He had help from those passengers. At this point, Snook had only £200 in his pocket, as well as a brace of very handsome pistols. John Stevens was unable to positively identify Snook, as it was dark at the time of the robbery. As a result, there was only circumstantial evidence that linked Snook to the crime. This included one of the stolen banknotes being traced back to being in Snook's possession when he accidentally gave it to a serving girl in Southwark whilst trying to purchase some cloth. He was initially held in Newgate Prison before being moved to Hertford Gaol on March 4th, 1802, whilst awaiting trial. 5 days later, the trial took place and he was found guilty, whilst the typical punishment for highway robbery was transportation. Due to Snook's crime being of a nature so destructive to society and the commercial interests to the country, he was sentenced to be hanged by the neck until dead. Punishment. Snook's punishment took place 2 days after his sentencing, on public ground nearest to the scene of the crime. As the law required, it is believed that thousands of people flocked to see the hanging, and it was to some of this number that Snooks is reputed to have exclaimed, "It's no good hurrying, they can't start the fun until I get there." Whilst on his way to the gallows, Snook's body was dug up the day after his hanging and was interred in a coffin provided by the residents of Hemel Hempstead and unceremoniously reinterred on the moor. A small headstone bearing the name Robert Snook was erected by the Boxmoor Trust in 1904, whilst a footstone was installed in 1994. As part of the Trust's 400-year anniversary, the exactly location of Snook's hanging and subsequent burial is unknown, so the location of the stone is an approximation. Legacy. Of course, there's always a legacy. A pub in the nearby pavilion in Hemel Hempstead, since demolished, was named after Snooks and used the silhouette of a mounted highwayman as its sign. One of the local Explorer Scout units is also named after him, in addition to the gravestones. The Boxmoor Trust has also named one of their moors Snook's Moor, whilst the estate manager's house is appropriately named Snook's End. I thank you for joining today's video, and for the fun of it, there will be a third video. But for now, goodbye everyone! Goodbye, everyone.